Today's headlines. United Future leader Peter Dunne has stepped down as minister. Prime Minister John Key made the announcement as he released David Henry's report into the unauthorized disclosure of Rebecca Kittredge's GCSB review. Mr. Key said he accepted the resignation on the basis that Mr. Dunne was unable to fully meet that inquiry's requests.
I want to believe him, but unfortunately the inquiry doesn't rule him out. And I can't dismiss the possibility that he has because of the information contained in the report.
John Key acknowledged Mr. Dunne's long and distinguished service to Parliament, but said he expected all ministers to fully cooperate with the inquiry. The developments come after Mr. Dunne was allowed to keep his status and funding as leader of United Future until the party's membership issue is sorted out. Deputy Prime Minister Bill English takes on his revenue portfolio until a permanent appointment is made, although Mr. Dunne intends to continue to meet the terms of United Future's confidence and supply agreement with the National Party. Kmart Australia Limited has announced that it will be a signatory to a global safety accord for Bangladeshi textile workers. The Accord on Fire and Building Safety in Bangladesh was developed in response to the fatal Rana Plaza building collapse and other tragedies. Kmart is also committing to conduct business only with factories which meet the company's standards for safety and social compliance. New Zealand's Retail and Clothing Union is welcoming that decision. First Union says Kmart is probably this country's biggest importer of Bangladesh clothing, so it's important to be part of the solution to ensure better wage and safety conditions for their suppliers' factory workers. Kelston Boys High School says it's devastated by the death of student Stephen Dudley. The 15-year-old died after a fight at rugby practice yesterday afternoon. Principal Brian Evans says the school will maintain its usual routine and structure while offering counselling services for people distressed by the situation. The government is contributing another $500,000 to removing hazardous waste from red-zoned Christchurch homes. This boosts their funding for the scheme to $1 million. Local councils are also helping with the project's costs. And overseas, a tug-of-war in the Golan Heights has seen Syrian government troops recapture a crossing along its ceasefire line with Israel. And that's just hours after reports indicated that rebels had briefly seized the area. Witnesses report that facilities are badly damaged, and Austria now plans to withdraw its peacekeepers, who make up a third of the UN force monitoring the disengagement zone. That's led to concerns that the Syrian conflict could escalate further and that the hardline Islamists fighting to overthrow President Bashar al-Assad could use the Golan Heights as a springboard for attacks on Israel. To the United States, the Attorney General has been questioned over concerns raised in a critical report by a British newspaper on the National Security Agency. The Guardian says that under a top-secret court order, the NSA has been trawling through the anonymous metadata of millions of Verizon wireless customers, regardless of whether their US customers are suspected of any wrongdoing. Critics say the order was unprecedented and constitutionally questionable. Those are the headlines for the 7th of June. Kanunga karere matua mai te whare korero rima ka kite anō.